Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. So this one is going to be doing some rankings of all 6 class types in Marvel Contest of Champions. And I think these videos are really fun to make because it's very cool to see like how classes grow and also how classes also start to decline. A prime example of this, of the declination, is that even a word? I don't know. But the big decline, the fall of the mutant class, bro. That is the fall of the high and mighty. Mutants used to reign supreme in this game, and now they suck. So it's just weird how class types can have that. So we're going to be ranking them 1 to 6 in today's video. And so one of the biggest parts about these class type rankings is the current champions that have been released this year. I mean that is heavily what changes class types. And also champions that can really affect class types. Like, for example, Apocalypse. When he came out, he was the first ever champion to, like, really boost up an entire class with, like, unique pre-fight abilities. But we haven't really seen anything like that in a while. Really hope to see more of that in the future. Especially for, like, I feel like every class should have some type of cool pre-fight like that. However, alright, we're going to get into the list. So, before we jump into anything, though, I want to show you guys a little something here. So these are the 2023 champions, and we're just gonna put this class by class just to showcase what I'm really talking about here. So Mutant, dude, there has been one Mutant champion this year, and it's Dani Moonstar. Now, Dani Moonstar is not a bad champion by any means, but she's not that good. She's not good enough to carry the entire mutant class on her back. Like, if this was Hercules, if Hercules was like the only Cosmic champion released in a year, like, the Cosmic class would still be going up, because Hercules by himself, he can put the entire Cosmic class on his back and keep moving. Dani Moonstar cannot do that. She's okay. Like, she's alright. She's good. She's nothing that special. She's not that crazy. We need more mutants. So we know the November champion is going to be a skill and a mystic. So December, we better get a sick mutant. I think the only hope for the mutant class is if we just get someone like crazy, like Onslaught. I think Onslaught. I think we're either gonna get Onslaught or Santa Claus. Now, you might be thinking, Santa Claus, like Legacy, stop joking around. But no, dude, Santa Claus is actually a mutant. And he's in Marvel Comics. Like, there is storylines with Santa. And it's December. We could genuinely see Santa Claus come to the game. You never know. That's not my number 1 vote, but I think that would be freaking hilarious. Especially if he was actually good. I'd be down with it, bro. I'd be down for a Santa Claus. But I think my number 1 vote would probably either be Onslaught or Vulcan. If we can see either one of those guys in December, that's what the mutant class needs. Onslaught is like the combination of Professor X and Magneto, like a fusion of them. It's like it's a separate character, but like it's basically them fused together. So like Onslaught would just be insane. That'd be so cool. I'd love to see what they do with that character. I don't know a ton about him, so I'd really love if he got introduced in MCOC. And Vulcan, he's like the older brother of Havoc and Cyclops. So that could be really cool to see him. And he's supposed to be very powerful. He's kind of my early prediction for mutants, like at the beginning of this year. So I'd love to see Vulcan or Onslaught. But yeah, that's mutant class. Yeah, it's not looking good. Yeah, we'll talk about the mutant class a little bit. Actually, no, I think let's just, mutant class is number 6. Mutant class, worst class in the game right now. It just needs more love. It just needs more love, more TLC, more new champions. Like, it's just, there's a whole thing of the quality and quantity, but mutant class has neither. Like, Dani's okay, but she's not a super duper high quality champ, and there's no quantity here. Like, the mutant class really needs help. It really needs help. So the mutant class is ranking number 6. It is the worst class in MCOC as of fall of 2023. All right, and I just wanted to showcase like some other 2022 champs. So tech, we've had 4, mystic we've had 3, cosmic we've had 3, skill we've had 3, and science, dude, we've had 5 already, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so those are the 2022 champs. Again, we'll talk about some more in depth once we get to some more specific class types. But yeah, that's mutant class coming in dead last. Dead last is mutant. Yeah, dude, the mutant class is just not the best. All right, let's go ahead and move on now. Now, the next one, it's tough. I'd say the 5th and the 4th worst classes, but again, worst isn't the word I really want to be using. Mutant class is the worst. After mutant class, like I don't think any other class is like in a bad state. I'd say mutant is the only class that is in like a current negative state. I think every other class is doing pretty good. We've had some really cool new champions added to all the other classes. But I think the next weakest class is either skill or tech. I think if I had to pick one, let me put this again to 2023 champs. Let me add that tag again, and let me just kind of compare the 2023 champs. I think that'll probably be the deciding factor here. So for tech, we've had Future Ant-Man, absolute banger. I think Future Ant-Man is a top 3 champion release this year. Like, an incredible addition to the tech class. I think Shocker, kind of mid. Sorry, MSD. I don't know. I've never been sold on Shocker. He's not bad. He's good, but he's not Future Ant-Man level, Then we had Lady Deathstrike. So she still has not been rebalancing with Danny Moonstar. I think Lady Deathstrike is great. I think she's a really good champ. I think she's a good addition. However, I don't think she's like breaks the mold really. She has some cool stuff. She can kind of like tank specials to the face, which is a cool piece of utility. I think as long as there's not like any kind of armor break or anything. She's cool. Vision got rebalanced, so I think she is a lot better now. I think they fixed some pain points with her, but I never played Vision before the rebalancing, and I never played her after, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Tex had an alright year, I'd say. Future Ant-Man definitely being the pinnacle of the Tex this year. And then skill, we've had Baron Zemo, who, Karate Mike's favorite champion. Which I think Baron Zemo is great, but I think he definitely was a bit overhyped. But I do definitely think he is a solid addition. I think he was the first champion of the year. Was he first, or was Absorbing Man first? I don't remember, but they were definitely first two. Yeah, I think Zemo's great. Then we have Moondragon, who is very, very interesting. I don't know. Yeah, she's interesting. I don't know. I don't know a ton about Moondragon. I tested her and I liked her, but I'm very curious to see her rebalancing, see what they do with her, if she stays the same, if they tune her up a bit, if they change some things. I'm not entirely sure on Moondragon. But then we have Kate Bishop, who I think is the best skill champion of the year for sure. Out of these three, I think Kate is the best. She's made by Kabam DLL. He has the best track record of any designer, I think, ever, aside from Kabam Broccoli, who, if you guys don't know who Broccoli is, he doesn't work for Kabam anymore, but that dude made Hercules. Kabam Broccoli is that guy. But I think, yeah, DLL, he's 3 for 3 so far. He has not missed yet with Absorbing Man, Kate Bishop, and Photon. So, yeah. But I do think, I think I have to say skill is the next weakest class, simply because a lot of very powerful skill champions are 6 stars. Baron Zemo, Valkyrie, Kate Bishop, Kingpin. All of these champions are currently 6-star restricted. If we take a look at the 7-star skill pool, like it's not that great. Oh yeah, Nick Fury as well. How could I forget the best skill champion in the game? Yeah, the 7-star skill roster is kind of weak. It's kind of weak. Honestly, yeah. So I think skill is the current second weakest class in the game. I think because they're just kind of held back by their 7-star counterparts. They're just missing a lot of bangers. However, I think there's a good chance we'll see Kate Bishop as a 7-star. We recently saw Shang-Chi become a 7-star with the Titan pool. And Kate Bishop was on the vote for that Titan spot. Shang-Chi won the vote, but Kate Bishop was in there. So I think we could definitely see her as a 7-star. You know, if she's on that vote, I think there's a very high chance that we could see her as a 7-star. I think that'd be big. I think she'd become the best skill 7-star. But yeah, I think I'm also going to rank 4 my Kate Bishop very soon. She is Decay. I didn't realize that she's a tactic attacker for this current season of war and for the next season of Battlegrounds. So yeah, but for all that, I think skill is the second weakest class in MCOC, and then so that of course means the tech is the third weakest class in MCOC. And tech's great, and the reason why I put tech above skill, it was pretty close, but I think the ultimate deciding factor was just that, you know, there are quite a few pretty good 7-star tech champions, and they've only added more recently. You know, I think Shuri is the best 7-star tech champ in the game. I think she's absolutely incredible. I recently took her to rank 2, so hyped about that. But yeah, we've also seen, you know, Warlock is now a 7-star. The new Iron Man rebalance, or not rebalance, remaster of the character, you know, debuting alongside Gladiator for like a brand new champion of the month. I think they did a great job buffing Iron Man, so, and now he's a 7-star, and I mean, he's already, well, most of us had him already as a 6-star, so that's cool. Lady Deathstrike is a 7-star. She'd be a great pickup. I would not be mad at all if I pulled her out of my Titan pool. She's not exactly who I want, but I think she would be a good pull and good addition to the roster. I think Guillotine 29 is pretty heavily underrated. You know, Howard the Duck, I don't like him, but he's a beast for sure. Cannot deny his power. Guardian's great. So yeah, I think just because 7-star tech roster is just, you know, has more potential than the current skill one. I think that's why ultimately what decided in tech going a bit above skill. But I think they're pretty equal. I think these classes are pretty equal. And there are some powerful tech champs held back from being a 7-star as well right now, like Ghost, Future Ant-Man, Nimrod. So we'll have to see if any of those guys do become 7-stars. But yeah, so Mutant the weakest, skill the second weakest, tech the third weakest. All right, let's go ahead and move on now. And ooh, this one's kind of tough now. Again, we reach a crossroads. We have two classes that are, again, I think very similar in power level, and that's Cosmic and Mystic. So again, let's put this back to 2023 and compare some of the Mystic and Cosmic champions released this year. So let's just put this to 6-star. So for Cosmic, we've had 3 champions, and for Mystic, we've had 3 champions. So it's even. An equal amount of champions have been created this year in both classes. So I would say in Mystic, Absorbing Man, definitely the best of the best here. I think Absorbing Man is arguably the best Mystic in the entire freaking game. Like, this character, again, another one of Kabam DLL's, just so absurd, so much immunities. I haven't counted, but I think Absorbing Man might have the most immunities in the entire game. Emma might have that, but you know, hers is confined to her diamond form, whereas Absorbing Man, his immunities are also confined to specific forms, but like I think Absorbing Man is just so well built, again, by DLL, that like, it's fine because you can switch forms with ease and you can just pick whatever form you need for any given matchup. And plus, one of his best immunities that comes from a synergy, poison immunity, with these guys here, that is not confined to a form. This poison immunity is just permanent as long as you have the synergy. So yeah, Absorbing Man definitely gets some points here for the Mystic class. Incredible addition. But then I think it kind of starts to fall off. Well, I mean, when I say this champion's the best Mystic champ in the game, or at least I think he is, of course it has to fall off because there's no one better than the best. Then we have Kindred, who was, I'd say, not a disappointment, but I don't know. He's just such a defensively focused champion, which I don't mind. I actually like that, but I don't really like the way that he is designed defensively with the whole... Yeah, I don't really like the way he's designed with how the root works and just how his AI works, spamming heavies. I just feels kind of cheap. But he is definitely a bit lacking on attack. But we have not seen Kindred's rebalancing yet, so they could buff him up a little bit on attack, maybe tone him down a little bit on defense. We have to see. But I think Kindred is an alright addition to the Mystic class, nothing like super crazy special. And then we have Werewolf by Night, who, I don't know. I haven't tested him. He just didn't really, I don't know. He did not speak to me at all. Morbius, on the other hand, me and him were having deep conversations. But Werewolf by Night, he was just howling. He's just howling, and we couldn't have a good talk. So I don't know, man. Werewolf by Night, he seems more of a defender. He didn't seem that impressive to me on attack. But I think it's just too soon for me to really have any hard opinions on Werewolf by Night yet. Let's go and talk about Cosmic, though. So we had Adam Warlock, who is, I think, absolutely incredible. I think definitely the best Cosmic champion released this year. And he isn't being rebalanced, which is crazy. I thought for sure he was going to get toned down a bit in one way or another. I think Adam Warlock's kit is just beautifully designed. It really works well with his taunt and intimidate that he applies. It feels like it works really well for Adam's character. He has the pod, which is so powerful. One of the best abilities in the game. It's like the ultimate form of special baiting. Just a very, very powerful champion. Adam Warlock, again, another top 5 champion of the year for sure. Very, very good champion. And then we had probably the biggest flop of a character, maybe ever, in Gladiator. I don't think I've ever seen the community like this up in arms about a new character, which is so sad to see because this man is Summoner's Choice, I think, which is a big reason why we've had so much community disdain towards him and everything, because people were hyped. Half the people were hyped, half the people were mad that White Tiger didn't win. So when both of those halves are hating on the champion, it's not good. So yeah, Gladiator is kind of a flop, which sucks because I'm so excited for him. He sounds so sick and badass in the comics. And personally, I tested him. I like him. I think he's cool. I think he's definitely better than people give him credit for, but I don't think he's nearly as good as he needs to be as the Summoner's Choice champion of 2023. Like Adam Warlock, just a regular 2023 release, is so superior to Gladiator, the Summoner's Choice. That should not be happening. That should not be happening. They should at least be equal. But Gladiator should be a little bit better. He just absolutely should be. He's Summoner's Choice. He deserves more respect. So I'd say Gladiator is the most, for me at least, I can only speak for myself, but Gladiator is by far for me the most anticipated I think I've ever been to see rebalancing. I was really interested to see Absorbing Man's and Adam Warlock's, but even more than both of those, Gladiator, because we've never had a Summoner's Choice champ rebalance before. So I'm very keen to see what happens with Gladiator, see how all that shakes out. And then the other Cosmic champion releases here is Vox. So I have extremely limited testing with Vox, but he seems like a pretty cool champ. Well, he definitely is cool. He's super badass looking. I love his look. Yeah, I haven't played him though. I don't think I've played Vox a single time. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, he's pretty good. Definitely more of a pure attacker, but he seems very solid. Really solid damage, through degeneration. One of the best types of damage over time effects you can have access to. I think Vox is definitely pretty great. So, Cosmic or Mystic? Let's compare the 7-star rosters for Cosmic and Mystic. Let's take off 2023. So, the Mystic class has Juggernaut, Chavez, Sassy, Mangog. Some really great champs. The Cosmic class has Hyperion, Null, Gladiator, Vox, Terrax. Some good champs, for sure. This is pretty tough, man. This is very tough. I think it's about even, man. Honestly, I think it's about dead even. I think Cosmic and Mystic are both in a really, really solid spot right now. And I think they're dead even. I think they're dead even. However, I think next month we're getting Kushala, who is going to be one of the coolest champions we've seen so far, I think, because, again, it's a DLL champion, and that guy has not missed. He's 3 for 3 so far. So this could be 4 for 4. And Kushala is a sorcerer supreme. So she's like, you know, Doctor Strange. She has that title supreme. So one of the most powerful wizards. But that's only half of her power. Her other half of her power is via the Spirit of Vengeance. So she's basically a sorcerer supreme. So it's basically Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider in one character, having, you know, being a sorcerer supreme and Spirit of Vengeance in one, designed by DLL. So I think next month, I think Mystic is going to surpass the Cosmic class. I genuinely do. However, right now, I think Cosmic and Mystic are even. I think they're pretty much dead even currently. And yeah, I think they're both in a really great spot. And that leaves us with only one class remaining. So let's go ahead and put this to 2023 one more time so we can talk about this. This is crazy. And honestly, like, I don't necessarily like it, because in the science class before this year even started has just been on the constant rise. And when I made my last, you know, ranking of the class types video, Cosmic and Science were 1 and 2, and they were pretty close back then. But ever since, like, the Science class has just been getting so much love from Kabam. Just so much Kabam love. And that's something that is unfair to the rest of the class types. Like we look at this. Like, I think they should try to release, like, an equal amount of class types every year. Because, like, look at this. 5 Science champions, 1 mutant. Like, how is that fair? How is that fair to the mutant class? It's not. But life isn't fair. So, you know, there's always that saying. But yeah, the Science class has gotten so much love. So we've had 5 Science champions this year. And I think all of them, the only Science champion that flopped was Sandman. And now his rebalancing is going to be going live next month. And from what we've seen so far, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. I'm really excited for Buff Sandman. Yeah. So, like, the only champion that flopped from the Science class this year, 1 for 5, is getting rebalanced, and he's looking pretty good. And so the other champs, we had Cassie Lang. I think she was the first Science champion released this year, and I was absolutely blown away by Cassie when she first came out. I did a testing stream. I think it was, like, kind of one of the first testing streams I did for a new champion, you know, before I made videos. But honestly, testing streams are pretty fun. I had a great time, and Cassie was like, she blew my socks off, dude. Like, I couldn't believe how powerful she was. And that was without the Ant-Man relic. Throw that on her, and she gets even better. I think Cassie's incredible. However, I haven't really been playing her because she kind of is similar to Tigra, which isn't the reason I've been playing her. I mean, it's definitely part of the reason, actually, yeah. But it's just that Cassie definitely has a high skill cap. Like, I'll play with Cassie, and then I'll watch Andrew the Rough play with Cassie, and I just start to feel a little discouraged. Because, like, seeing what he does with her, it's insane. So I think that really kind of balances Cassie out as a character. That, you know, the skill cap for how powerful she is. But, yeah, man, Cassie, incredible addition to the Science class. She's basically, you know, what Ant-Man should be. But that's his daughter. So, yeah, shout out to Cassie. She's incredible. You know, then we had Silk, who is a pretty great champion. Well, I think Sandman came out first. But we already talked about him. But yeah, I think after Sandman we had Silk. And personally, I am not all aboard the Silk train yet. If I pull her as a 7-star with my Titan Crystal, I think I'll be jumping on board. But I don't know. I think I'm just not fully convinced, not fully sold on Silk. But I do admit she's a great champion and everything. So yeah, she's a good addition. Then we have my boy Morbius, who I absolutely love and adore. And I'll say this right now. I think Morbius is better than Silk. I think he's better than Silk. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. However, I don't care. That's my own opinion, which I am perfectly entitled to. What I will say, though, is I'm talking about, like, a maxed out Morbius. Like, Morbius full potential. I'm talking, like, Sig 200, or at the very least, Awakened. I think Awakened Morbius is better than overall than Silk, for sure. Like, I think Awakened Morbius, like, he's going to be, like, maybe, like, a top 10 champ in the entire game. Potentially. There's some early bold statements. However, I think Morbius is one of the best additions we've seen in the game since Hercules, and I think he's going to age extremely well. Again, all because of this second bullet point in his awakened ability, with the access to this undying. It's just incredible. It makes him one of the most sustainable champs in the entire game, and as long as you don't mess up, he literally will not die. He can take every single kind of unfair, fun, interactive kind of damage in the game. He can take it all. He can take it all, and he will never die unless you mess up and actually get hit or get hit on the block. That's the only way he can actually die. So in a skilled player's hand, I think Morbius has potential to be one of the best champs in the entire game. And I absolutely love the way Morbius was designed. He's so simple and yet so extremely effective. And the fact that we all had the opportunity to get him as a guaranteed 7-star for the low price of $25 US, I think it's just one of the best pro player Kabam moves we've ever seen. And yeah, cannot rate Morbius enough. And then we have probably my most, like, hated champion to fight, at least, and that is Photon. Photon is in the highest tier of auto bans for me. You know, when I see a Tigra in someone's deck, it's auto ban. Like, that is the number one champion I look for. Oh, Tigra? Bye. The number 2 champion I look for is Photon. Oh, Photon? Bye. Because I'm not fighting her. I refuse to fight her. I have no idea how she works, so I just ban her. Could I learn how she works? Absolutely. Will I? Maybe. But until I actually pull the champion, I'm just going to ban them. You know, once I actually have the champion, then there's a reason to learn and not ban them, because I don't want to ban my own champion. But I don't have Photon, and I also tried to get her. I spent well over 5,000 units trying and absolutely failing. So that also some residual hatred for this champion because of that reason. But yeah, Photon is one of my most wanted pulls from the Titan Crystal. Again, DLL champion. I don't even know much about her, because I don't want to learn because I'm salty. But if I get her, I will learn. I will eventually. But yeah, man. So those are the 5 additions to the science class this year. Like, the science class was already, before this year started, arguably the best class in the game. And then they just get all the love from Kabam. So many new additions. And yeah, the science class is just so ridiculously stacked right now, man. It is crazy. And also, like, if we look at the 7-star science class, like, again, it's so stacked. It's so, like, science is just so powerful. Like, we have Titania. I cannot preach Titania enough. Just so powerful. Just, I've already talked about her so much. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, one of the best female champions in all of MCOC. That's my genuine opinion on an Awakened 7-star Titania. In the current state of the game, I think she's arguably the best female champion. Like, just cannot recommend Titania enough. Then we have OG Hulk, you know, who got buffed this year. An incredible buff. And just an absolute Giga Chad. Just so good. You know, we recently got Captain America now as a 7-star via the Incursions Crystal. You know, we got Morbius. Morbius is probably the most common 7-star in the game now because, again, of how he was released. And again, fantastic champion. I think, you know, the best part of his kit is locked behind being awakened. But, you know, you got to get Morbius first to then even start thinking about the awakened ability. One thing at a time. Like we've already talked about, Silk, Photon, no Sandman as a 7-star yet. And then we've also just got Spider-Ham introduced as a 7-star with the most recent Titan Pool batch. So I think that is a massive dub for the Science Class. Spider-Ham is an incredible champion. We already got Mr. Negative introduced as a 7-star, who I personally despise. I hate Mr. Negative. But I know a lot of people like him out there, so yeah, he's great. Then we got Spot, who won the vote for the Titan pool, which was interesting. Spot's my favorite champion. I think, yeah, Spot's overall like, definitely one of my favorite champions in the game. Maybe my favorite. He looks so freaking cool. I would love a 7-star Spot. Yes, he needs high sig. Yes, you want him awakened. But hey, again, you need to get the champion first before you can get all that other stuff. So I would not be mad with 7-star Spot at all. We've always had Overseer in the base pool, you know, really solid champ. I'd say Overseer's kind of fallen off over time, but still a great champ. And then we've had the introduction of Void. Again, the Loyalty Crystal. I think Void is a bit of an OG tried and true champion. Void will always have a presence, a good presence in the game. So yeah, man, I think the Science class is just so ridiculously stacked overall. I think they are just undisputed, the current best class in the game. And I really don't even think it's close. I really don't. Like, Science class just by far the #1 class in MCOC, which honestly, it's good to see, because there's a lot, the Science class is very unique. Like, lots of weird and different types of champions in here. Like, you know, like a vampire Morbius is Science. Then we got, you know, Captain America, Super Soldier Serum Science. We got the Hulks as Science. We got the Spider-Verse characters as Science. Some Spider-Verse villains like Spot. Like, just so much cool stuff in the Science class. So much different kinds of champions, and just Science class has like all kinds of cool, solid utility. Some really good damage in some champions. Like, the Science class is always changing, innovating, introducing new and cool stuff. So like, Science class already just really cool concept and always had cool stuff, and now like just so many interesting new champions and just spins on things. Like, they've just done a really good spot. Really good stuff with the Science class. I said Spot because I got Spot on my brain. But yeah, I think Spot is a prime example of just like, they made such a cool and unique fighting style for Spot. You know, you portal block, build up your spots, then they're actually like trying to hit into you, but they're missing because they're punching into your spots. Like, it makes sense. Like, I think they did such a good job building Spot's character, and it's really cool what they can do with the Science class. But yeah, man, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree Science is the best class? Do you agree Mutant is the worst? How would you rank it? Let me know. I think like it's fairly agreed upon. Science is the best. Mutant is the worst. I think the room for interpretation is really in the middle there. I think that's where it gets tricky. But yeah, for me, I'd say Science #1, Cosmic and Mystic 2 and 3. It depends on who you ask where you put them. Like I said, right now I think it's pretty even, but I think next month it will tip the scales in the Mystic class's favor with the introduction of Kushala. You know, and then we had Skill and Tech, and then of course Mutant. So yeah, guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love reading comments. Love hearing what you guys are thinking. Thank you so much for watching. All support on the channel. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Peace out, guys.